Hi everybody, my name is SHANTH ENJETI and you're watching SHANTH ENJETI Art. I wanted to let everybody know about the SHANTH ENJETI Art TeePublic store. I've updated the site with some new designs, including one of my favorites and one of your favorites as well, the Made with Liberty in the USA. That is available to get on a t-shirt for all of you guys who've wanted that for a very long time, as well as the Nosfero logo t-shirt, the SHANTH ENJETI Art crest t-shirt, which I love, the Speakeasy logo. So there's a bunch of new stuff there in the shop. Every bit of support you guys give this channel, whether it's my channel members, thank you again, or sending the super chats, buying the t-shirts, every bit helps me to do what I do, and I thank you guys so much for doing what you do. As always, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace, because that is what Shanth means. Thank you everybody. Now on with the show. What is up, everybody? How are you doing? This is Shanth ENJETI Art. I am Shanth ENJETI, and welcome for another painting stream, another conversation, painting, art. So pull up a chair, put your feet up, unless you're at work, then keep your feet on the ground and listen and enjoy yourself anyway. And this is the cool thing about all of this stuff. This is the cool thing about all of the work we're doing. Oh my gosh, look at all these fine folks in here. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I love seeing this stuff, man. This stuff makes me happy to see you guys. Channel member Eric Huffles, of course. We've got Mike TV Dub in the house. We have got Hostman's Lounge. It is great to see you. Yes, indeed. Flintlocks all around. And we've got our first channel member, the Alpha, the Omega, Stephen Rockwood Drawing. Thank you for the kind words. And I have something hilarious to tell you about that particular typo, because it's like, it's all my fault, like all things are, and it's totally ridiculous. Channel member Lloyd Burton, thank you so much for being here. It is great to see you. I hope you're having a great day today, my friend. Yes, indeed. Be here in the moment, John. That is very much on my mind today, funny enough, and largely because I've had just so much crazy stuff going on, and so many things that I honestly can't believe. And one I want to make sure that I start with as we start off this stream, because it's one of those things that happens, and it was almost so bizarre that I kind of blocked it out a little bit, which was this Sunday, because my wife got us this for Christmas. My son and I were able to go see Jordan Peterson live at the Providence Performing Arts Center. And if you have ever been feeling like you needed some inspiration, going and seeing somebody who I consider to be the Joseph Campbell of our time, and his amazing wife Tammy, who also came out before him and talked about her amazing journey and surviving very difficult and high fatality rate cancer, just incredible people. And what was so great, Cranberry Langers, my channel member, my brother, it is so great to see you, man. Oh, awesome, dude. I'm so glad you're going to be here, hanging out in the background, man. Absolutely. And wishing you a great day at work on this fine Tuesday. And he was talking about the importance of storytelling. He was talking about the importance of all of these things that we in this kind of storytelling space, that we love, that we're passionate about. And it was incredible, because this stuff is important. This story stuff is important. And there you go. There you go. Yes, indeed. Yeah, she talked about that, actually. Yeah, she talked about that when she was there. Just an amazing human being. And what was so crazy about it is as Nosfero Book 1 is getting packed up, and we've got another bunch that the missus just has to get the addresses on, and then it's like just trips to the post office and me hand packing everything. But the story and the idea of the importance of story and the idea of passing on these skills and these traits and sharing this stuff with you guys is so important. It is so important to do. And what I was saying to my wife yesterday that I found really strange, and it continues to be strange in all of the best ways, is that when I started exploring the idea of doing traditional artwork, right, and doing what I'm doing now, I was a digital artist. I was a traditional pen and ink artist, and then I thought, well, I want to learn digital because that's how comics are being done, and went on down that particular path, but all the while painting. And at the time when I started talking about the idea of doing, painted stuff, I mean, there was Alex Ross, there was, as someone mentioned on the last stream, people like Simon Bisley, but everything was switching over to digital at that time, and nobody was really thinking about doing painted comics. It's a very labor-intensive process and all of that kind of stuff. And certainly YouTube didn't exist. All of this stuff didn't exist. Yes, I know, Eric. Eric, do me a favor, by the way. I don't know if... did I pack that one already? Let me know what your backer number is, because I want to get that to you, man. I want to get that to you. And it was interesting because the YouTube thing hadn't happened. All of this stuff hadn't happened. And right now we're in this very compelling and interesting time with YouTube where a lot of people are realizing that there is a hunger and there is an interest in seeing people who are traditional craftspeople and artists doing their work in front of the camera and sharing their work with people. And I just realized I was adjusting the wrong one. There we go. But people doing their work, in front of an audience. And I never thought that that's where this was going to go. And, oh no, but I'd like to get it to you though. I'm absolutely, all right with, getting it to you. You guys are so funny. There we go. That's what I'm seeing. I just looked at the camera and said, that's not what I'm seeing. I want them to see what I'm seeing. But this is the thing about it, right? Is that I've been watching a lot of videos on this channel called Process X that show a lot of Japanese and Korean artists and craftspeople, and in some cases, factory work where people are making things. Sometimes it's ink sticks. I actually have the link in the description, and to their stuff as videos that may inspire you. And my brother from another mother, Nick, who I talk about a lot, who's a painter and just a brilliant guy. He, let me just move that right down there, and then I can adjust the focus. But he has been starting to practice and work on learning woodworking. And it's such a crazy thing to me because we have this need to create and to make things with our hands, but when we're looking at YouTube and online digital platforms, increasingly we're enjoying seeing people who go to real places, who take you there, who, in terms of travel, how many of those fake coffee lounges with relaxing music can we look at before those cats start creeping us out, right? And I realized that inadvertently that I started to do that I started working in traditional media, and there's a lot of people who want to see this kind of thing still done, and possibly this is how we make sure that this kind of thing lasts for the next generation. And it's a wild thing. Hello, Earth. Hello, Camel. How are you doing, man? Holy cow. It's been a minute since I've seen that logo here. It's good to see you, brother. First Watch Studios, hail Shanth, hail chat, hail to you, First Watch Studios. And yeah, like I said, just let me know your backer number. I will absolutely get that sorted, man. But it's the idea of doing this stuff by hand, the idea of people, which really amazes me and something I want to work on, I'm inspired to work on, doing a great job of filming themselves, like doing things like woodworking with very high resolution cameras. I think it's the next logical step for this whole journey on this channel, because it's a very strange thing. You guys come in here and you watch comics get made and hand painted, and to me it's just what I do in addition to the YouTube stuff, right? In addition to this, I think in terms of boxing, I'm at about 150 right now. And my goal is to get to 200, but here's the trick with it. Gosh, this is such a tricky thing. Because in some cases, we're breaking up the packages a little bit differently because people will have several orders, and so sometimes we'll break 4 down into 2 just so we can secure everything and put cardboard in. But yeah, I would say just on the safe side, we'll say about 150 packages have been mailed. I'm not exactly sure what that means in terms of numbers. I'm just putting stuff in front of me and knocking it down. That's kind of the way I'm going about it. So don't panic if you haven't got yours. You will be getting it, and and I need to get all this stuff out to you guys because my studio has no space. It is just filled with stuff. Traditional is physical art versus a digital representation of art. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I use it all, like right now, and certainly I use Photoshop and InDesign. But I see what you're saying in it. But it's almost like how do I word it? I've been listening to a lot of Art Bell when I work. And what's up? It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Heyo, how are you doing? It's great to see you. I was listening to Art Bell, and I was thinking, must have been something really great for those of you guys who were listening to Art Bell at the time it was happening and being there when he was doing this stuff that is different than when I'm listening to old radio shows, I imagine. When you guys are here and you're with me while I'm working, you guys are watching these physical things get made, and then you're getting your own copy. I gotta adjust my desk here, sorry. It's in a weird position. It's making it hard for my arm to kind of get to an angle where you guys can see it. There we go. But you guys are seeing this stuff being made in real time, and this is the only time that these brush strokes are going to go down. This is the only time that this particular process is there, and we are documenting it here on this channel. And then when you guys get the books that you back, I am hand packing every single one of these books. There is nobody else who's doing the packing part of it, and I hope I haven't forgotten any, but I am trying to make sure I write a handwritten thank you on the inside first cardboard. In addition to that, you will see on the outside of the cardboard my writing of your name and your backer number on it, so Mrs. Enjetti can pack it. And it's so important to do. For me, it's so important because it's your book that I'm shipping off to you, Yes, Shanth often confused when Rocky goes off cam and there are not large, scary clinking and banging noises until he returns. It's totally true. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Yeah, long time no stream, guys. Yeah, so we've just been, I've been packing books, as many of you have guessed. All sorts of the typical craziness. So I had to tell you about something that was funny and painful that both Stephen Rockwood and my brother Rocky were able to catch in Nosfero that is 100% my fault. So there is a page in Nosfero, there's a word balloon where it says, it's a typo, and it says and twice in there. So it says and instead of just and once. And I have to tell you guys, when we talk about the process and the complexity of keeping track of everything as we're doing it, I know that my editors and my proofreaders caught it. I know that I told Eric about it. I know that Eric fixed it, and I know what really happened was when I was doing all of my saves and updating files, I accidentally grabbed the wrong overlay that had the uncorrected version of that page in there. Or I just forgot to update it, and I'm just like, And it is so frustrating because I laugh about it a little bit, but I'm like, there's a lot of pressure, or I am a single point. I was about to say, I am a single point of failure. That's true. But it is what it is when it, I'm going to laugh all day today, guys. It's been a long week. But when I'm doing this stuff, the thing that's so difficult is I try to figure out how to put this stuff out there in such a way that I can maintain the highest level of quality. But being an independent artist and doing it myself, it means that I've got to keep track of a lot of different things at the same time. So there are times when, I'll talk to Mrs. Enjetti and she'll say something to me like, do you think it might be a good idea to do this process right now so that you have it done in this? And I'm like, no. I've got this down to as manageable as I can do. And if I do things too out of sequence, something's going to get dropped. Something could get dropped anyway. But if I do things out of sequence, it's almost assured. What's up, Comrade Sammy? How are you doing? It's great to see you. It is what it is, what it is. I laughed when I said it. What's up, Ricky Dane? You'll see X where Gina Carano is suing Lucasfilm and Disney. I did not see that, Ricky Dane, but I'm going to tell you this much about that. I do know, yeah, thank you, Courtney. I do know that Elon Musk put out a feeler to anyone who feels like they were wrongly fired for tweets on his platform, and he said, I will pay your legal bills. So I imagine that's what's happening. Is happening, yeah. And 100%, Mike likes tacos. Gosh, now I'm hungry. And thank you for sharing that, by the way, because I do love it. Yeah, bring them to their knees. Guys, this is a very strange thing. And I was thinking about this because, again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I had that incredible opportunity, thanks to Mrs. Enjetti, to go see Jordan Peterson and him talking live. And I said to her, I go, you know, it is a very strange thing, or it must be a very strange thing, to be on the receiving end of so much enthusiasm, and at the same time be on the receiving end of so much animosity in some cases. And I think it's kind of an unbelievable thing to see the idea that strangers who don't even know you are crafting some kind of angry narrative about you and dedicating time to it has got to be overwhelming. And I don't know how he manages it. I don't know how Gina manages it. I don't know how anybody who's in the public spotlight manages it outside of having a family, and in terms of that you can go to, and friends who are not in this space, to center yourself. Because what really makes all this stuff happen is the paper, and Jordan was so good at getting that into my head. What is up, Timmy Mello? My man, how are you doing? Always great to see Timmy Mello. It's a great day when you are here in the chat, my friend. It is a great day. Channel member, rock star, and all-around good dude. And so, yeah, so I was sitting there and I was thinking about people like, and I know I talk about them a lot, but I'm going to keep doing it, the Townsends, and the idea of having 2,300,000 subscribers and just doing, 18th century cooking and history. And I think you never thought that was going to happen in your life. You never thought that, oh, of course, this is going to become a 2 million subscriber thing. I certainly have no idea where Nosfero is going. I write the stories, I put them out there, I work very, very hard on them, but I didn't know that this book was going to reach its minimum funding goal. I could have thought that it would. Other books have, but there's never any guarantees. And so it kind of puts me in this space where I'm just purely in the moment and I'm doing my work, because this craftsmanship, this work that you guys get to be a part of when you're here is something that I've worked on for 40-something years when no one was watching, and I should say 47, because I pretty much, since I could hold a pencil, I was trying to make marks and do this stuff. But nobody was here, and I'm still doing it in some ways a more educated, more informed way of doing it. But I'm doing it in the same fashion, which is purely because I need to do this. I need to work these crazy hours. I went to bed at 5, woke up at 10, and I'm just getting it done. I'm continually working. What's up, awesome one? How are you doing? You are an awesome one. Let me see. Ghost Ninja, you say. I could live with that. Yes. John, as long as you're keeping track and not me. Otherwise, last count, you have 1,000,000 points in my book. There you go. And when the account for all their sins is brought to bear, Disney will ask for mercy and look back and whisper no. Yeah, absolutely. Old man Shanth. Indeed. Yeah, I was drawing pictures in the womb. That is right. I was thumping in Morse code and trying to draw. But it's wild because right now the villain of Nosfero 2, Death Will Die, is a character whose name is Dregula, Dregula. And Dregula he's sort of a little bit of a, weirdly, even though there's not a lot of story elements to it, he's inspired by certain elements of Throne of Blood by Akira Kurosawa, He's inspired by a lot of different things, but he is my stand-in for Dracula. He is my stand-in for Dracula, and he wears his evil on his shirt and on his crests that he has, his belt and his icon on his chest. And these are ideas that I've been playing with for a very long time, and I've thought about. But the fact that I've thought about them in some kind of intellectual way is not what makes art happen. And that's the thing that I'm so blown away by. What's up, Tari? How are you doing? Yes, indeed. Yeah, it is. And I love Dracula, and I have to do a video about that because I love it so much. I'm doing well. I hope you are doing well, my friend. It is great to see you here. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit the like. We've got almost 30 people here in the chat. Let's see if we can get more people in here. And thank you so much. What is up, Ice Queen? How are you doing? Hello to you. Did you and Sean flip a coin to see who'd stream today? Yeah, you never know. We may at some point. But what was so interesting to me about that, in the terms of this idea of Gothic romance, this idea of all of these things that I'm passionate about, is what Nosfero attempts to do, and what this book will continue to do, is talk about the idea of what evil is. That evil is evil. It's not nuanced. It's not something where there is this. The idea of it does not have a redemptive quality. And what our fiction typically does, and what Dracula did, and it was very unfortunate that a lot of the adaptations have made a hero out of the character of Dracula, and replaced the heroes with him, which is a very postmodern thing to do, that I wanted to return and then deepen the idea of the Dracula lore, because I think that Bram Stoker is a genius. And I think that his work deserves better adaptations, to be honest with you. Mark's Music Obsession, my man, it is great to see you. How are you doing, channel member and brother? I hope you are well. Moss Blackburn, hello. Studio cleaning time. Sean stream, perfect for that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm good to clean, too. I'm definitely good to that, yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing that I think about when I look at monsters, and I look at creatures. We have made monsters. We've neutered monsters, and and evil, and we've done the same thing with heroes. Everything is gray. We're very much in the mid 70s right now, culturally. You see this everywhere, and people want there to be heroes and villains. And when I was listening to Jordan Peterson talking about the fact that people understand, the postmodernists understand, in terms of what Jordan was saying, is that they understood the importance of stories, and they went about turning them on their head, and applying the most wicked qualities of humanity, and claiming that they were ambiguous, or were still positive things, words and deeds to live by. And I found that really shocking, and really, I found it very shocking and very compelling. And so by creating this character that is both inspired by some of the ideas of the Dracula story, quite a few actually, and the iconic nature of Dracula, but applying it to this idea of evil, of envy, of resentment. And for those of you guys who've, I need a hero, indeed, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. It is great to see you. General Piggy in the house. It is so great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Gotta wait for it to come up so I can put it on screen. Channel member for 14 months of membership. Let us celebrate with a cheerleader. Hang on a second. Let me find my scenes here. Here you go, brother. Here you go. Charge! Glorious. It is so great to see you in here, my friend. I was thinking about you in terms of, you had sent me a message a while back, and I kept forgetting to respond to it because I've just been doing all this stuff. But yeah, it was Kenneth Rocafort who did that Uncle Sam inspired painting, just like the one I did. And man, that's high praise, dude. That was I appreciate that. You were thinking, was that you? I was going, dude, that's great. I love Kenneth. He's a good dude. Shanth evil. Shanth Shanth evil is in charge, so they must make us sympathize. I got you. That they are misunderstood and good guys are the enemy because they are. God, I can't read for beans. They are stopping them. Yes, the evil ones. Yes. And that's a big aspect of this, right? That's a big aspect of this. And so what has been interesting to me is how do I word this? The rewriting of both history and the reframing of stories to make it so that these things are, the value system is kind of inverted. And for me, that is no more clear than when I was listening to, and as much as I love the production design and some of the decisions artistically in it, Francis Ford Coppola, by his own admission, said that he felt that, and he wanted to portray Dracula as a Christ-like figure, which I know I've joked about before because it's just ridiculous. But the thing he said about it that I thought was, or why I thought that was so insane, is because the whole point of Dracula is that he is sacrificing humanity for his own existence, for his own life, and that Christ sacrificed his life for humanity's existence. It is an inversion of perfect self-sacrifice versus basically perfect parasitic nature. And I thought that was fascinating that someone would dare to try to make me feel sorry for somebody who killed our poor Lucy, and killed so many of our heroes, and what's the word I'm looking for? Fed a baby child to his brides as vampires. And I'm sitting here going, look, even saying you see him as a Gandhi figure is a bit of a stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little bit out there. And yet, it's what I think it is that people don't like or don't really know Bram Stoker's Dracula. What they know is they like vampires, and they, like we often do, dream of being, something that we can't be. You see how much great charity work is done by the 501st Star Wars fans, and has been done, visiting hospitals, fundraisers, raising money. Now, they're dressing up as villains, but it doesn't change the fact that, young kids in a hospital might be excited to have Darth Vader visit them because they know those movies and it's a cool costume design. That's a very different thing than reframing or attempting to repeatedly reframe the narrative as Dracula was a misunderstood sort of hero. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Paradise Lost, and the whole that whole particular aspect of it, of the lament of the villain. And everybody, every villain thinks they're right in what they do, but we can't think they're right in what they do, or else, we've essentially given up any kind of pretense we have. So if you like villains who are villains, I love Chick-fil-A. It's so good. I do love me some Chick-fil-A, man. I mean, oh gosh. So when I would go to the mall in Chattanooga when I was growing up, they used to have, in the mall, they had a Chick-fil-A, and they would have samples out there, and we just make laps getting Chick-fil-A. Was it really? I was going to watch it. I have it. And I haven't watched it yet, but there seemed like there were some good visuals in it. But this is the thing. Gosh, the heroes are so great. The heroes are so great in Dracula, in the story of Dracula. And their reasoning, my gosh, Van Helsing as this sympathetic father and all of that stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me with food, but I love it. I love it. I can have some of yours. Thank you so much. Chick-fil-A has become the enemy these days. So I have no... Oh my gosh, yeah. Just laughing at the world we're living in right now. Everything. A chicken can't become political. It's ridiculous. These people need everything to be political. I love when the actors who play the characters dress up in costume, yes, and visit hospitals like Johnny Depp, 100%. Let me see here. Eric Huffle celebrates 2 months of membership. The shadow that bred them can only mock. It cannot make not real new things of its own. Yes, the Return of the King. Tolkien might have known some stuff, and since we are celebrating your membership, let's do it with a cheerleader. Charge! There you go. There you go. And so, yeah, so when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is a fairly, good example of that kind of thing. I love the costume designs by Eiko Ishioka. I love some of the camera work. I love the naive style special effects they did, the in-camera special effects. It was fantastic. But where they fell down is they gave so many of the story arc moments that were for the heroes over to Dracula. It's a very... And in a way, they demystified Dracula, which is kind of a frustrating thing to me, because Dracula as an evil character, and they got some of it very right. They got some of it, like in terms of some of the ideas in it were great. The use of the lines, leave some of the happiness you bring with you, all of that stuff is fantastic. But I would love to see a movie that really talks about the love between Mina and Jonathan Harker as not being just, well, I'll settle for this, but really I'm in love with Dracula. And at the same time, I think that it would be great to see a connection between a connection between Dracula and a connection between Quincy and the fact that they name their child after, or Quincy, Mina and Jonathan's first child, and what he says, his moment of summing up the story. There's just so many beautiful moments of friendship, You are very intimidating. It's hard to be brave here. You guys are killing me. The next time I'm in the hospital, if one of you doesn't dress up to visit me, it's a cool character, I'm going to be upset. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Shanth Enjeti art, the key to making good relatable villains, 2 question. Brutus, E2, yes, and Judas, you betrayed the Son of Man with a kiss. Well, here's the other aspect of it. The key to writing, for me anyway, the key to great villains is the fact that these things that make them evil are not wildly complicated. They're really not that complicated. It's amazing how we mess up villains so badly right now. We write like we're therapists, essentially. Like a lot of creators write like they're therapists and they're trying to psychoanalyze all of their characters and say, well, let's find a common ground. I mean, you're not all right. And you don't go to heroes for that. Heroes they can have imperfections, but they're supposed to learn from them and deal with them so that you can actually see how you resolve those things. And, it's a very strange thing. And I could say that this has actually been a huge part of art colleges and art education, where you're supposed to learn how to become a better artist, not embrace your weaknesses. You're supposed to improve. And when people started saying that bad artwork is just another way of understanding art, that's when we started to run into problems with it. That's when we started to run into, a loss of skill. And so that same thing has happened in storytelling. And my characters are very much like all of the evil, characters that you see in history. And what they want is they want to bring about the end of the world, the end of humanity. It's that simple. And they want it because they want that to happen. And funny enough, just like the Cain and Abel story, because they can't stand the fact that they can't succeed in this world. And they can't stand the fact that they are motivated by such selfish things that when they see other people's excellence, other people's, morality, it's an affront to their self-concept. And their self-concept is something they are willing to massacre everybody for. And that's the important part of it. That's the important part. Like, how do we stop that? How do we address that? Well, first we stop it in ourselves. First we stop it in ourselves and we try to model it as best as we can. And we may not be perfect, which actually helps. But probably the bigger thing we do is introduce people to stories that have some kind of meaning, some kind of purpose, where there are actually characters in them that you admire, that you want to be. You think, oh my gosh, I would love to be Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars trilogy. I would love to be, a hero. And then you see yourself, when you see the villain doing awful things, you go, wow, I don't want to go down that path because I've had that feeling before. And that's what makes this stuff work. And I wish it was rocket science. I wish it was, in terms of, yes, it's incredibly complicated to do all of this stuff. I know you guys know this, but it's incredible to walk and chew, or, it's incredibly difficult to walk and chew gum and to paint and stream and do all of that kind of thing. However, when you get all of that time under your belt learning this stuff, right, at that point, you have to make things a little bit more simple. And I can psychoanalyze and break down, comic book stories that I see by both artists of the past and contemporaries for what their potential meaning and the metaphors and the unintended but like very cool, artifacts or traces of the artist in the work and all of that kind of thing. But that's not really how you're going to be able to generate things. And it was something that Jordan Peterson said this Sunday when I saw him, which, gosh, that feels weird to say. But it was something that he said this Sunday that really hit me like a ton of bricks. He goes, some of the best creative things that we do, some of the biggest breakthroughs we have in any art form come from this kind of almost inspirational revelation. And when people ask us to explain them away, which happens, I've got a master's degree in fine arts and illustration. Writing a thesis is an attempt to explain to people, like they demand, explain why you're doing what you do, and it just eradicates inspiration. Because inspiration can't be explained. It happens sometimes when you're not looking for it. And much like love, much like anything else, my successes have come when I have not been paying attention to that idea. I just am my head down and I'm doing the work. And they are an ongoing miracle to me to be able to share this stuff. I want to try to put good out in the world, and I did not have another comic book, another issue of Nosfero that I was desperate to paint until I came up with something I wanted to put out there that was positive for you guys. And that's what the first book is really about ultimately, is me wanting to put something positive and beautiful into your hands. A beautiful work of art, a work of art that is hopefully a grace to your home and not a disgrace to your home in terms of the way that it's treated, the way it's packed, the way it's shipped. That stuff is really important to me. That stuff has always been important to me because that's what art has done for me. I got something, excuse me, I got something in the mail yesterday that I ordered online and on eBay, which is funny because I know I had just ordered something recently fun for John Malin on eBay, some nostalgia. And one of the things, and this is beyond nostalgia to me, one of the artists who influenced me in terms of independent comics, and the first comic I drew, was an artist named Tim Vigil. And someone was selling an original sketch of his, and I love his werewolves. To me, Tim Vigil draws the best werewolves. Period. I love his werewolves better than anybody. Better than anybody, for me. And this person had put online a Tim Vigil original werewolf sketch. And I have wanted to own a Tim Vigil drawing of a werewolf for as long as I can remember. And I mean, I just am looking at these sketches that he's done, these little noodly drawings. And look at this. It is so beautiful. I mean, the handling of the pencil and the soft lead pencil and then the orange kind of colored pencil on there and his mark making. It is just gorgeous. Yeah, there's something about Tims and werewolves. You're 100% right. It's so true. But Tim Vigil was just, to me, he was the guy. He was the guy who did this stuff, and it amazed me. So when that came in the mail, it was like such a shot in the arm. I was so excited to see it. Yeah, thank you, Cranberry Langers. I love it. Yeah, he is just really a crazy drafts person. Amazing stuff. Yeah, noticing more and more music quoter. Yeah, they have the same sympathetic arc with Doc Ock and Two-Face, but there's a bigger bad in the Joker's defeat. Yes, and in both of those cases, Well, actually, not in the case of Two-Face. In the case of Dr. Octopus, he sacrifices himself, saying, my God, what have I done? What have I become? Darth Vader does the same thing, but they don't get to continue. They don't get to go on like, this is how we need to live our lives. And Two-Face doesn't make that decision, but he has to die, and he ultimately has to be revealed for who he is. Their decision to lie and cover up who he is has dire consequences. And right now, in many ways, as a culture, we are them. We are lying about, we are in many ways defending Harvey Dent right now. We're defending Two-Face, and we don't want people to feel bad and be disillusioned. But when you're not disillusioned, you're illusioned. So what we're really doing is we want people to be illusioned, if that makes sense. There are no cheats to make this stuff happen that I'm doing. People need to know that when I'm working. And this is not about anybody else. But if you found out, I'm thinking of Andy Warhol, funny enough. If you found out that I wasn't actually painting this book, which would be very weird considering that I do it on camera. But if you found out that I wasn't painting this book, you would be so disappointed. If you found out that I didn't believe... Oh, thank you, Stephen Rock, but that's my favorite story. That's my favorite part of that entire story. And I really love that kind of stuff. You know, I love that, writing that kind of stuff. And it's because there's something I find rather wonderful in a movie like The Fugitive, where you think that Tommy Lee Jones's character, who's almost like a Han Solo character, interestingly, doesn't really care. But deep down, you want him to care as an audience member. You want him to care about what you know has happened to this guy, played by Harrison Ford, Dr. Richard Kimball. And Dr. Richard Kimball. And when you see that he does care at the end, and Harrison Ford looks at him and he goes, I thought you didn't care. And Tommy Lee Jones puts his arm around him and goes, I don't. But don't tell anybody. I love it. I love it. That's what it's about. The real villain of that story is an irredeemable, awful person. He's a terrible person. And it's great. And it's great to see excellence. What ultimately both causes him more difficulties and frustrates him, but saves him in the end, is his unending desire to do the right thing, even putting his life in peril. And wait, was Nosfero made with 3D assets the whole time? You know what the sad part is? It might be if I knew how to do that. I wish there was a cheat for this. Oh my God. Oh, you're killing me. Yeah, framed off of Shanth in his 20s. You wish. Yeah, and I wish, and my wife wishes. I'll tell you a great story of my physical strength. You'll love this. So, for my frame, I'm actually was pretty strong. I still am pretty strong, but my frame has gotten somewhat larger, to put it simply. And so I weighed, gosh, I don't know, maybe like 140 pounds or something like that at one point. And my wife had this heavy futon mattress. Like, it was a queen-sized futon mattress. If you know how heavy, it had springs in it. If you know how heavy those are, they are really, really heavy. And and she's like, do you need help with that? And I went, no, I can get this myself. And I put it on my back and center balanced it and then walked it down several flights of stairs out to the car. And she said to me one of the most beautifully complimentary but somewhat insulting descriptors. She goes, that was amazing. It was like watching watching an ant carry a leaf. I was like, thanks. Oh my God. That was rough, guys. God bless her, though. It was true. Yeah, I had those rickshaw pulling muscles, you know? It was like lean. Oh man, she doesn't say that now though, and oh Lord, bless her heart. What a lady, what a lady. And I couldn't do any of this without her. And you know, I see so many kind of amazing and strange things. One of the things that was wild is, so we go to this Jordan Peterson lecture, and I was telling my wife about, you know, Tammy and her journey, and I said to her, I go, yeah, I mean, you know, and she says, well, what kind of medical situation did she have? And I said, I actually don't remember the name of it, but I just know it was really, really serious. So I looked them up, and in this article where they talked about it, it said their anniversary, and Jordan Peterson and his wife Tammy have the exact same anniversary as my wife and I. And these things that are just kind of like little, oh, that's cool. Like, my wife was born on Frank Frazetta's birthday, which is coming up in 3 days. So, yeah, it's exciting. Oh, there's my brother, Jeremy. How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. Let me know when you want me to come on and talk about Nosfero, man. I'm down for it. I'm getting warmed up to do all this stuff, man. Yeah, I can't sleep. I was up till 5 last night. You know, just work. Like, I couldn't get to sleep. I was so excited and thinking about art, and I was boxing some more books, and this whole thing, I mean, I know I say this a lot on this channel, but this whole thing is a miracle, guys. This is a miracle. To be able to do painted comic books and have the opportunity, there's no guarantee it happens, but for you, with your help, to get the word out about what I'm doing, to get more people subscribing to this channel, to get more people becoming channel members, every dollar, every super chat, everything you guys do helps so much, but I am already overwhelmed with what I have. 100% overwhelmed with what I have. Henry Bemis, how are you doing? Yes, everything is going okay with us. I hope everything's well with you. I'm keeping my, I won't go into specifics, but I'm keeping my sister-in-law in my thoughts today. She's having surgery. It's a fairly routine procedure, but thinking of her. So, you know, much love to her. If you feel like saying a little prayer for my sister-in-law, my wife's baby sister, feel free to do it. But other than that, everything is great. Oh, good. All things are good with you, Henry Bemis. I was actually watching, you'll love this, I was actually watching the big Twilight Zone Blu-ray set I have. And every time I want to watch that episode because it makes me think of you. And I love that. I love that I didn't get that reference. And then when I did, I was like, I feel like I know so much about you, because that is a very special Twilight Zone episode, and it's just great. It's really, really great, you know, and I love it. I love that episode. And it really ultimately is about something that these stories are about, and something about, you know, why we spend time with people, why we choose to have time with people, is because time is so incredibly precious, and there is nothing more valuable than being around and being in situations where we're inspired by things. And that relationship that we have with books, that relationship that we have with things that inform and transport us. I have so many art books around me. I have so many comic books around me because of my love of story. But I also have so many collections of fiction within arm reach of me, because they just elevate and they enrich my life. They bring so much to me. And I've kind of fallen in love now with the book Dracula. And the thing about it is that you can read a book and know a story, and then read it again or watch a movie at a different point in your life, and it affects you differently because of where you are in life, if that makes sense. Dracula has been having that effect on me, particularly the character of Van Helsing has been having that effect on me. Let me read this one from Timmy and make sure I get it, because it looks like it's, here we go. That reminds me, my birthday was a day after Eric Weathers. Happy birthday! After Eric Weathers, he's turning 40, and I'm hitting 35. Well, happy birthday to you, my friend. But also, Billy Tucci's wedding anniversary is also on the same day I was born, at 35. So congrats to Billy. My God, see, I love it, man. It's so great. My favorite episode, my favorite Twilight Zone episode is The Hunt. Yes, that is a great one. And you know what's funny is, my favorite episodes, I have a few favorite episodes of Twilight Zone, but I love it all. I think most of us probably would say, hey, I love, you know, Twilight Zone, or at least I'm not adverse to it. But my favorite episode of Twilight Zone for just the sheer, I don't know, atmosphere of it, as you guys know, is Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? There's something about it. Like, I love the monsters, or the Martian, what is it called on Maple Street? You know the one. Now I'm getting all my names confused. I love Willoughby. I love, gosh, so many of these I think about. The Howling Man, the classics, the one about the father who dies and his son lives as a result, who's a soldier. There's so many great things. Yes, happy birthday, Timmy Mello, 100%. I also believe I share a birthday with Ethan's old man. Oh, no kidding. So, Holiday, Van Skyver. That's right. Yeah. So, yes, indeed. Yeah, happy birthday to Holiday. Yes, even though my avatar is based on Time Enough at Last, my favorite Twilight Zone episode, I just read that. I love the Howling Man, and if you love that episode, it perfectly encapsulates what I think about in terms of how cool of stories we can tell with concepts of evil, of nuance, of pure good, of coming to understand that. It is because we are that person who would lift that thing up, and it's so brilliantly acted, but why that episode is so great. Love the Real Martian episode. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here, because I think it's important to do. So as both a happy belated birthday and to show you how much I love Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up, it is referenced in the Waffle Lodge cheerleaders. So here you guys go. Here are the Waffle Lodge cheerleaders, and you can see Will the Martian Real Stand Up references aplenty. So here you go, guys. Charge! There you go. There you go. Yeah, I love the Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up episode. It's just a great episode. Just a fantastic episode. And it's the Howling Man. It's so good, guys. It's like, if you find yourself, what's the word I'm looking for? The most inspiring thing about being at the talk with Jordan Peterson was, and I remember saying this to my son, I go, if you feel as though, is anybody out there thinking about this kind of stuff? Does anybody, feel these things that he's saying that I also connect with? Look at this giant audience that's here to see him speak. Look at all these people who are enthusiastic to talk about ideas and storytelling and the idea of wrestling with God. I mean, these are profound things. Why would anybody show up to be there? It's the same thing that humbles me when you guys show up and you support this channel and you do all of this stuff. It's and you back Nosfero, because to me it's just, why would people in this day and age still have such a passion for hand-painted comic books? To me, that is incredible. And then the more that people find out about it and the more people go, hey, I might want to get into this, we don't know where this could go. Maybe this gets some young people, saying, hey, I want to try traditional art more, or who are already doing it going, oh, that helps me to understand this particular thing or that particular thing. And so what I try to do is just move in a direction. And I'm sure that in a direction that feels sort of true and that feels right. And I know that Jordan Peterson does that. I know that the Townsends do that. I see so many people around me who inspire me. I got to get back into a Wolfman binge. Yeah, and by binge, I mean involves extensive literature. Yes, indeed. Howling Man is about the guy who realizes the colossal mistake he made and spends the rest of his life trying to rectify it. 100%. Yeah, Judgment Night is a great one, too. You know what's interesting, Jeremy? I don't know if you have done this on your channel. SDA, how are you doing? It's great to see you, man. To the moon, Shanth, to the moon. I can't do a very good imitation of him. But it's the thing that's really interesting, and it's great to see you, SDA. But let me say this about Twilight Zone. You review a lot of television shows that carry that they have seasons, and then the seasons end, or I don't even know how seasons work anymore. But you have they have these things, and then there's lulls between them, and I just think to myself, if you guys were to rewatch, and if you ever are feeling like, hey, let's try this out, to rewatch and talk about individual episodes of the Twilight Zone every now and again to fill in when there aren't shows happening, I would love to watch that. Because you guys have some of the best discussions about what's the meaning behind this, and works of mystery and science fiction and fantasy. That's absolutely right. Just a squirrel trying to get a nut in this world. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I'm saying? Oh, good. You'd love to do it. Like, I just think when I watch you guys talk about this stuff, it's like, it's almost like a cure for what ails us right now. That kind of the wisdom. It's. I think if I were to write curriculum for elementary school kids, I would have a huge section devoted to the humanities, but I would definitely have them watch the original Star Trek series and especially The Twilight Zone. I think those things really help us to understand things. Teflon Ron, what's up? Hail chat question, when will the Nosfero book ship? It is shipping right now, Teflon Ron. And so we're at about, I think we're getting, when this next batch goes out, we're at about 150 maybe. I'm trying to like not overestimate it. And then I've got a stack of boxes right here that are going to Canada. But as I've said, and I mentioned this to Eric Huffles, let me know your backer number if you have it, where you can get at it. And we can check and see where yours is at, and I can try to expedite it. So let me know. I can probably do better than try, but I'll give it a shot. Twilight Zone averaged 30 to 35 episodes a season. That would be unheard of today. You're absolutely right. What's up, Blackjack? How are you doing? I learned so much about storytelling from Twilight Zone, and you know what? You're right. I've learned so much about life and humanity from Twilight Zone. Oh, another favorite episode. To Serve Mankind. That is you want to talk about, that is something. That is something, that episode. But there are so many, and gosh, another, I think of things that fall into this vein, and it's The Day the Earth Stood Still. That original film is brilliant. It is so good. It is so good. Yeah, I love The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's another movie, funny enough, about the mistakes that we can all make, that how serious the consequences seem to have to be for us to learn a lesson. That we have to, let the sort of the devil out of his prison in the monastery. We have to risk our own annihilation, but that the lesson can be learned is the message. That the lesson can be learned. And that is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Ennobling thing. An ennobling portrayal of humanity. Let me see here. Evan, gosh, my glasses just fell off my nose, which is funny. Evan Marmer, looking forward to seeing Robert Eggers' Nosferatu in the movie theaters this year. So am I. I'm really curious to see what he does with it. There's 2 great versions out there, so it'll be great to see. Shanth, I learned so much from Twilight Zone, especially when they aired late into the night. Yes, it's true, yeah. It's a cookbook! Yeah, you're totally right. How many people lived in a Twilight Zone? Indeed. Woohoo! Canadian orders, that's right. Yeah, that's one of the things on my list right now. I mean, I've got a stack of them right here. Let's see here. Stephen Rockwood was the first one. He was our trial to see how it did, and it got there, which is great. Rocky, is that how he got that way? Yeah. Is backer number same as contribution ID on Indiegogo? I believe it is. Yes. Your contribution ID is your backer number, I believe. Yeah. What is this for that you're painting? Oh, this is the cover of Nosfero 2, Death Will Die. And this is the introduction to my version of Dracula, who is named Dragula. And he is a personification of a particular kind of narcissism, disregard for humanity, like evil, but really he is yet another one of these characters in the world of Nosfero who wants to open a door for to oblivion for mankind. And that is, and he because he just doesn't care. He hates humanity. He can't grasp, any of the qualities that would make him a valuable person, and he hates people that have done that, which is again the typical story of the villain. But he's done something that none of the characters in book 1, none of the villains in book 1 of Nosfero have done. He has opened a doorway and kept it open. He has made it so the door to the neither that Nosfero is continually battling against and trying to make sure those doors don't get opened. He has opened it, and as a result, another character who we are going to be introducing in this book right there, another a hero, but a hero in a completely new sense for this book. This is some seriously, I am making this thing grander, bigger, but still a pulp, self-contained story. He's a hero like we haven't seen before, and he had been forced into a position of trying to be the one being, I will say, not to give too much away, to stop evil from coming into that doorway. And so there's so many things that has to happen, you know? Old your boy Zach, yeah. Is that Dre? Yeah, old your boy Zach reference there. Got him. Ooh, Nosfero 2. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, I mean, and by the way, I have to say, awesome one. Yes, the Twilight Zone radio shows. I found those on YouTube. I love them. They're so great. So thank you for posting the link. Hostman's Lounge, backer number 574. Do you think you could check, please? Yeah, absolutely. I will take a look at it. Yeah, I know I haven't gotten that one out yet, but I will put 574. I'm gonna make a note of that. Let me make a note of that. Let me see here. I have paper. I'll just write right here. Let me see here. I'll just write on the paint. See, look, I'm gonna write on the painting right here. 574. Got it. All right. So, yeah, fortify the gate and keep evil away. And this is another heroic story. You guys have seen this. This is the story of 300, interestingly enough. This is the story of Lord of the Rings, right? Trying to keep evil from coming through the gate. Oh, I don't care what anyone says. You're an awesome dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Yo, Shanth and everybody. What's up, Cranberry Langers? It is great to see you, man. It is great to see you. Yeah, I'm having a great time doing this stuff, guys, and writing these stories. You know, it is such a pleasure. It is such a pleasure to do these things. And, you know, my cup runneth over. My cup runneth over, guys. It is so fun. What's up, channel member Simply Green? How are you doing, my friend? I'm waiting for it to come up in eCam so I can put you up there. It is great to see you, my friend. How are you? Yeah, working on the next part of this story. Because, you know, we work on these things as authors, as illustrators, as creators. We work on these things, and they have... I think it's great to think about, not in the sense that, oh, my genius will not be understood until many years in the future. None of that sort of stuff. But it's great for us to work on these things in a way to where we're realizing that at some point somebody is going to take a look at this story and they're going to have to you know, they're going to view it outside of your context that you're in at the moment, right? So you want to make it something that's good for its time, but you also want to realize that at some point people... the backers, the people who are getting this very special edition of all of these books, there's going to be people after them who don't have to wait for these books. And these books are going to, you know, mean something different to them, and they're going to be something that you... it's a different time. Like, I often think about what it was like for people, because I didn't read the Harry Potter books, but I wonder what it was like for people at the time waiting to see where the story went. People who were reading Lord of the Rings and waiting to see where the story went. Or they just read The Hobbit and they had no idea this bigger story was coming. And then all of the people since them who just go to the bookstore and they can read it because it's done. It's such a fascinating thing, you know? It's such a fascinating thing. Yeah, looks like Gina Carano is soon to... Yeah, oh yeah, she's going to get hers. Yeah, good. I wish them luck with that. Got another one for you, Shanth. Flirta on YouTube, video game tilt shift recordings. Whoa! That sounds cool. Yeah, if Elon buys Disney. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have a feeling that, yeah, when Elon put that feeler out there, has anybody, you know, used my platform and been punished by it, I will, you know, let me know, and I will sue them. And I will, I'll pay for it. I was like, uh-oh, this dude is serious. And then Bob Iger just kind of went and decided to piss off a really, really smart, highly successful person, which Bob Iger is not. So that's kind of funny. Not something I would do. I don't know about this, if you guys are like this, but when I see a Mike Tyson on an airplane, I don't think I should pour some water on him and see what happens. That's kind of ridiculous. You know? When Half-Life 3 drops, the kids born after, no idea of the wait. That's right. Oh, yes, indeed. 40% said, regarding this doorway that isn't supposed to be opened, what are your thoughts on Carl Jung? I love Carl Jung. Carl Jung, I find him absolutely fascinating, and I actually own a copy of a facsimile of Carl Jung's Red Book, a giant, heavy copy of his illustrated, illuminated manuscript, the Red Book. I think his art is incredible. Let's see here. Is it me or is Shanth's connection bad? Don't know. Hey, Lauren? Yeah? Is there a printer on or anything?
No, I mean, I am using the computer to type up labels.
No, that can't be it.
I'm not streaming.
Could you ask the kids if they're doing anything heavy, just out of curiosity? Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me know. Like streaming a television show or playing a video.
Streaming. Dad's having Wi-Fi issues down here.
We'll see. Let me know how it goes. I'm not getting any particular warnings on here, but so yeah, let me see. Oh, take care, Courtney. Yeah, let me know if it gets any better, guys. There's never any telling. Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I have to go kick the router. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let me know if it gets any better. We just did a get off of streaming check. Sometimes, if you're playing a heavy video game with a lot of graphics coming through, it can only do so much. Yeah, it's buffering. I got you. Connection is okay now, actually. All right, cool. Yeah, it buffered a few times for me. Gotcha. Yeah, it stuttered for me. Could be just be YouTube. Yeah, you never know. What's up, Phil? How are you doing, my brother? We got to talk pulp sometimes. Yeah, it was lagging, but now it stopped. Very, very cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's great to see. Phil, we got to talk pulp. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if I've told you this yet. But my wife is actually typing up the labels right now. But I've packed your books. So I've got a giant box of stuff for you that's going to be going out tomorrow probably. So yeah, it is happening. Yeah, they're the kids are. Yeah, I love it. Shanth competing with a printer. It's totally true. Oh my God. Yeah, connection is okay now. Good. Let me see. Yeah, be safe, Courtney. 100%. Kids are downloading the entire Twilight Zone. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Yeah, we've watched some Twilight Zone. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, you guys know how it goes. Yeah, you guys know how it goes with this stuff. Family shared internet. You see that with a lot of creators. It's like, lest anybody think that we're living La Vida Loca totally. We're the house where it's kind of like, who's using the hot water? Oh my God. So yeah, it's Phil, it's great to see you, brother, by the way. It is fantastic to see you, man. And yeah, we gotta do a pulp stream. Maybe I'll have you on, because I've got this new thing on Ecamm that I'm been using and testing out, which is this interview feature. And what's really cool, if you look at my brother Rocky, who's in the chat, Rocky Ballesteros, I think I have a link to his YouTube channel in the description. If I don't, if somebody could drop it in, that would be great. It's such a, I did an interview with him, and on Ecamm, when it posts the video, even if there's lag, when it posts the video, the final version of the video, it's in 1080p. So everything you see on stream is very high resolution. That's why I use Ecamm. And it's just so cool. It's such a cool streaming method. And I want to try having some people on where the stream has a certain quality. I think if I was to give somebody a suggestion, if you're not doing, and I'm not one to do so, but a good recommendation I would make is to try out Ecamm. It saves your streams to your hard drive. You can then upload them to Dropbox or wherever. But because you're broadcasting, my brother just called me, because you're broadcasting it from your computer, everything is high quality. Like everything is 1080p. So it's recording in 1080p, it uploads it in 1080p. So if you're just interviewing 1 or 2 or 3 people, there's a little bit of a lag on your interview. So sometimes there's a gap where you can, if you don't get used to it, you can talk over each other a little bit. But when it's posted, it's utterly seamless and the picture quality is great. Because StreamYard just has a Zoom call quality to it. I've seen a lot of people try to mess with it to make it look better, but my art, when I'm painting, would not look this good if I wasn't using Ecamm. Yeah, Ecamm is the balls. It is. It's awesome. Yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah, sub to Rocky. There's his channel. He just crossed recently. We should say congratulations. He just crossed 100 subscribers, and I'm so excited for him. He's on this thing. He's making really cool stuff, and I just want to see him. Making artwork and sharing some of his creations with you guys, because Rocky has got some things in the pipeline. I talked to another friend of mine who is a storyboard artist, and he was talking to me about comics and wanting to do a comic. So I'm seeing a lot of people who are inspired by what we're doing, and Rocky is, of course, he's my brother, and he's been doing we've just been at this like crazy thing for 30 years, so we just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. When Shanth streams, that's right. There you go. There it is. Hey, whatever gets you through my streams. Or you could be Patrick T and just talk over everybody anyways. I do a little bit of that, I think, accidentally. Congratulations again, Mr. Rocky. Yes, indeed. Cranberry Langers, we love you. Come on, Rocky. Yeah, crossed 120 today. Look at that. Siege Perilous, how are you doing? It's great to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's every bit of support helps. Because it's so I actually like watching people work who are good at something and doing something that I don't do. And you guys know, because you're around here, you know how it works, but we work so hard, and some of the work you see, some of the work you don't see. Obviously, I can't, be packing up packages and showing people's addresses while I ship their product out. So you can't see all of it. But I want to share as much as possible, because I think it helps people to feel connected with what we're doing. I think it helps people to realize that, oh wow, there's a human being whose family needs our support, and who is making this artwork for us, and there's not some massive corporation. I am fully independent. It is just me. There is no bigger entity that's backing me. You guys are backing me. You guys are making this possible. You guys are making it possible for me to stream, ship books, buy art supplies, buy brushes. It's only possible because of you guys. And I'm able to, hopefully, and no pun intended, open a door to a world of fantasy and adventure, because you guys are here supporting me. And let me see if I can get that in focus a little better. There we go. Because you guys are here supporting me, I'm able to do all of the things I'm able to do. And let me see if I can find, because I think I had it kicking around here. Hang on a second. Maybe it's over here. I have so many books around me. It is bananas. Let's see here. It's not there. It's not there. I thought I had a copy of I had my copy of Nosfero here kicking around, but I'm not seeing it right now. But wherever it may be, that's what Nosfero is. Actually, now I'm convinced that is the copy I was looking for. It's not there. Is that it? I bet this is it. It just looks so new. I couldn't believe that it was. So you guys are making this possible. Oh my gosh, almost lost an eye at the end of the year. Oh my goodness. Neat sulfuric acid in it. Oh my gosh. Have changed jobs. Last place was a death trap. My God, thank God you're okay. And yes, I'm glad to hear you are out of there. My God. I started following CG for comics and laughs. It seems that both have been in short supply lately. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, Henry Bemis. It's I was saying this to my wife, and it was my wife. I was saying this to my wife about going to see Jordan Peterson. There's a lot of external stressors in the world right now, and obviously there's family stuff going on with folks in everybody's lives. There's difficult things that come up, difficult times, and I try to always be positive. And I said to her, I am so grateful for her getting me tickets to see Jordan Peterson, because sometimes I want to hear somebody being just really positive and hopeful, who I know has been through the ringer. And it was such a great thing. It was such a great gift, because positivity, sincere positivity. Some people see people who are positive and they think they've got their head in the sand, which I think is laughable. Sometimes people have just seen some really horrendous stuff. They've seen more, and they choose the light. And that's really painful for people to grasp, because some people want to just prove a point. Like, again, it's like the Killing joke, funny enough. I want to give you such a horrible experience that you break like me and you get how weak I am. And Commissioner Gordon's like, I didn't break. Batman's like, he didn't break. Maybe it's just you. And it's a dark sort of thing. Nobody wishes these things upon themselves, but that's what art is supposed to tell us. Art is supposed to inspire us to be positive. And when you read Nosfero, as some of you guys already have, you get why Nosfero is so strong. You get what he is about. You know what I mean? And that's what he is not positive or good because he's had an easy life. Walt Disney wasn't. None of these folks were. It's the greatest myth in the world. And that's the thing for me about art. That's the thing for me about all of this stuff is that there are people online, thank goodness, and in the world who have no idea what's going on with me, no idea what's going on with Nosfero. It really is about the paint. It is about the hard work, and I try to put out as many good things as I can. But I will say that whenever anybody demands that I, do this or do that, or whatever, and tries to compel my speech, Jordan Peterson, another person who understands that, it ain't gonna happen. It's like I just don't do that. And the people who can appreciate the way I do things and take the things I do in the spirit that they're given to the extent that's possible, they'll find somebody on the other side of that who's a friend and who's really supportive. People who don't, it is what it is, and it's a strange thing because I like I said, I try to count my blessings every single day, and I try to I don't know, if you had told me I was going to get to see Jordan Peterson talking live this year, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, I'm looking around, I was on a stream the other day, and someone was asking me, hey, what painted comic books inspired you? And I'm thinking, well, I love John J. Muth's The Mystery Play, but technically, I don't know if it inspired me. It's great. It inspired me to paint. I was like, wow. Alex Ross, that humbled me. I was like, I don't think I could do that particular thing because I didn't even know how to paint at that point, but it made me think, wow, you could work with gouache. You could do all these crazy rendering things. And then someone in the chat goes, what do you think of Simon Bisley's work? And I went, oh my gosh, that is one of the books that has totally inspired me. Whoops, I don't think I can show that on stream because it's Simon Bisley. But yes, Slain the Horned God is utterly a book I look at that makes me think, this is awesome. This is just, I was like, how does he do this? It's crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I saw that and I was just so inspired because a lot of, Frank Frazetta's artwork inspired me, but he didn't do painted comics per se. Not in any regular quality. His comics inspire me and his paintings inspire me. But painted comic books is kind of strange. Tim Vigil's work inspired me when I was young. Todd McFarlane's work inspired me when I was young. But there's a lot of people who inspire my work, like Alphonse Mucha, who didn't do comics. But as far as painted comics, I've looked at and gone, that is awesome. Slain the Horned God is one. And guys, I've got some great news. Some really great news. I was looking to see if I could find some high-res scans of the original paintings because I was curious to see how it's done. And it turns out they are releasing a rescan of the original photographs taken of the artwork, larger format edition that's ever been released. I think it's the 40th anniversary. God almighty, I'm old. But the 40th anniversary of Slain the Horned God. So there's going to be a brand new release of this book. So if you don't have a copy like I do, you're going to get a chance to get a brand new remastered, larger format version of Slain by Simon Bisley. And I remember telling my brother Phil about it, who you guys know is a massive Bisley fan, and he hadn't seen it yet, and he was so excited. He was so excited. Yes, Henry Bemis, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it is a great book, and it is straight up metal, Timmy Mello. Straight up metal. Yeah. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting me. So grateful for you. Yes, indeed, Rocky. They're great, aren't they? Great. It's a shame San Julian isn't better known. San Julian is great. I think I have... Do I have a book on San Julian? I don't know if I have a book on San Julian, but San Julian is my brother Nick's one of his favorite artists of all time. San Julian was his huge inspiration. He is so good. Metal than a copper penny. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Medical cleaning grade acid. Oh God, I've heard stories about that. My father was spent a lot of time working in the ICU as a doctor, and I spent a lot of time at nurses' stations. So in the ICU, so I've seen a lot of that. I am glad you are okay. I cannot overstate that. I have to take off. Take care, Cranberry Lingers. God bless you. It's great seeing you. Yes, indeed. A peek at book 2. Good day, everyone. Wonderful. Let's see here. I like to see the smaller streams as well. Sure, but it's everyone. It's a little. I cannot read. It's a little people powering this. What does the cover of that book look like? Unfortunately, the cover has. Well, actually, I'll just cover it up with my thumb. There's different covers for it, but this is the cover that I have of the book. There's several different covers because it's been re-released. Gen X Catholic, how are you doing? It is great to see you, my friend. I really appreciated your kind words, by the way. Darn, just saw the stream going. Have to replay. Let me say how much... Oh, thank you so much. How much I love Nosfero. The amount of story bursting out of your pages puts books that are 3 times as long to shame. Can't wait for more. Oh, my gosh. Gen X Catholic, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. This has been a very overwhelming week. A very overwhelming week with that stuff. And the kind words of you guys they mean the world to me. They mean the world to me because it's, we're just, my wife and I and our family is just a small family in a small house. I'm in a small room, packed to the gills with boxes to ship, art supplies, all of this different stuff. And what I try to do and what's so important to me is to try to, cultivate in myself an inspiration enough to bring some positivity out there and to push that out into the world because artists who did that when I was a kid changed and saved my life with it. There's so many amazing artists out there who did beautiful work. And I always just think that any little bit of positivity I can put out there and any bit of beauty that I can put out there for you guys, that's the whole, thing for me behind all of this. It's just a miracle. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Let's see. I agree about the EJ. It's infighting bothers me. Gosh, I cannot read these long ones. Hold on a second. I gotta adjust my screen here. Sorry, guys. It's infighting and bothers me. Lists the pardons and getting uncomfortably close to SJW stuff. Okay, I just wish EJ. Oh, I see. You guys are talking about all of the what do you call it? The political stuff. Banger of a book. I could celebrate. I wanted him to succeed in him. That hubris. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm catching up. James Catholic, loved your review of Nosfero. SHANTH ENJETI. Oh yes, much appreciated. Yes, and that's right. I did a stream with Rocky taking a look at it. Let's see here. Okay. Dungeoneer Files. Lists and pardons. Rocky Ballesteros. It was true, straight from the heart. Oh gosh, you guys are great. You guys are terrific. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean it's. I am just so amazed at what is happening right now. Not only just in terms of Comicscape, but what is happening in terms of the Iron Age. And when I talk about that, the biggest thing I was thinking about is there's companies like Four Horsemen, right? Four Horsemen are sort of outside the space, but they're coming on the scene as an independent toy maker that has been doing this for at least 40 years, I think, these guys. They're sculptors, they work for McFarlane Toys, they work for Hasbro, they've had all of these huge projects, but they've never been allowed to do what they wanted to do free reign. So they created their own toy line called Mythic Legions, and they are making highly posable, very well made figures, and they're making figures of literature. They did a Mask of the Red Death action figure, and they also did, I don't know if you guys can see it over here. Actually, let me bring it, oh, this is going to cause an avalanche. Oh well, it's worth it. I want you guys to see this. There we go. They did a Jacob Marley from one of my favorite books of all time, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I mean, if you had told me that somebody was going to do a action figure based on one of my all-time favorite books in terms of what it says about humanity, it's a 1,000. Is it? Yeah, now I want to look this up. If I'm not mistaken, it's 1,100 and something words to change inspire and deepen the meaning of Christmas for the people of its time and since. When I think about that, it blows my mind. What is up, Gigavox? How are you doing? Paulus Arts. Oh my gosh, look at all you guys. It's so great to see you guys in here. Norin Rad82, my glasses fell up my nose again. Wow, that looks just like Simon Bianchi style. Bianchi style. I like his stuff. He did, I think I bought a black and white version, if I'm not mistaken, of some book he did that was Wolverine and Sabretooth. They had a color version and a black and white version, and I think I got them both, and it was very good. We'll catch the rest later. Shanth, gotta run. Mark's Music Obsession, thank you for being a channel member. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate it so much, and have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah, isn't that brilliant? They also did a Headless Horseman figure, and one of my favorite stories, of course, is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I listened to that audiobook once for like a couple of months when I fell asleep every night, and every time I looked at it and listened to it, the in-jokes about New England and all that stuff, I loved it even more. It was so great. Such a great book. I'm not him. I'm just saying if the first 3 to 5 pages I got was ISO for an artist, I'd be sending it back with a strongly written email. Okay, be safe, Mark's Music Obsession, says Timmy Mello. Am I clicking on these as I read them? I'm like looking at it trying to figure out what it is. I can't figure it out. Let's see here. Okay, chat room. Okay, cool. I'm just like trying to keep up with this stuff. Oh, it's actually 30,000. Thank you. 30,762 words. What is the story that is 1,000? I think the legend, if you could, I'd love to know what the page count is for Sleepy Hollow, because there was some book some story I was looking at where I was so appalled by how few words, and how brilliant, I should say, not appalled, but I was blown away by how much they did with the amount of word count they had, how much story. 30,000 words to change, and have that much of an impact in theater, in movies, in adaptations, and how many copies sold. I have a facsimile of it over there. When you look at some of these books like Dracula, and you look at how many words it took to change culture, Steamboat Willie was 7 minutes and 45 seconds. The introduction to the Spider-Man character and all of his backstory in that first Amazing Fantasy, I think, was 15. It might have even been 13 pages. It was some absurdly short page count. And I thought, my God, we've got so much potential, for what we can do. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Gigavox is saying, I'm looking at their website. These figures are awesome. Yes, because it's artists and craftspeople doing what they know how to do. When you guys see Nosfero, for better or for worse, it is me being able to do everything that I'm passionate about, and that in terms of I'm able to push it as far as it can go. And at first, I was being I was a little nervous about that, and I still kind of am in some ways. But I was a little bit concerned. I thought, like, how is this going to go? And now that I've got the first issue under my belt, I know the world, I know the characters, and I'm able to kind of push it to the next point and kind of intensify what is happening in it. And so little things like I want to tell you everything, and like what everything everything in issue 2 is. It's like all I can do not to. And some of you guys, I'm still got to get you guys issue 1 first. But it is such a exciting, uplifting, and it'll just make you go, yeah, let's go out there. Evil can't stand a chance against us. And that's what I love the idea of. I just absolutely adore the writing and the work. He's one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite in some ways. The work of H.P. Lovecraft. And I wanted to create a vision for good that could hang with his vision for entropy and death and oblivion and all of that. And that is why the next book of Nosfero 2, been waiting to make that pun for a long time. Nosfero 2 is going to be called Death Will Die. Because as you know, death may die, is the Call of Cthulhu, sort of poem or what would you call it, phrasing, the part of the lore that they recite, that's translated, and I wanted to do a story that is just like a nod to all of that, because Lovecraft. That's why I delivered the books to Lovecraft. Yeah, good versus evil, order versus chaos, and yes, I just saw. I don't know if you were here when I said this. I just saw Jordan Peterson live in Providence, Rhode Island, Sunday, and he was a huge influence on me. Order versus chaos. That's the stuff right there. And why I love Nosfero. I'm so glad to hear that, and a huge influence. Christmas Carol was the one the author disliked the most, right? 100%, yeah. Awesome one. Sean's point being, it didn't take a lot to forever change culture with art. You're absolutely right. Yes, that's absolutely the point. Yeah, it's that I don't even know how to describe it. Henry, thank you so much, Henry Bemis. I really do appreciate that. And it's first of all, that is just a high praise. There's my brother. There's my letterer. There is my collaborator on this book, Eric Weathers, who's crossed 40K and still kicking ass and still going. And I had the chance on, and thank you, Rocky, for pointing this out. I got to get you guys to meet. And we got to do a stream together. But Eric Weathers, lettering by Eric Weathers, right there, guys. That's what has made so much of this possible. I'm pretty sure that it's like after Lauren and my kids, this is the next largest typeface in that book. And I just, it's so great to get to know Eric as an artist, brothers. We've had some adventures behind the scenes with me getting to introduce more and more of artists I know who are outside of this space to one another. And it's so fun. It's like a real shot in the arm, is bringing new people in. Just backed Battle Brick Road recently. Looks great. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Gen X Catholic. It's so great to see that. Not if I can get there first in terms of the first backers. Yeah, there is the link to Battle Brick Road 2. For the poster book that you can also purchase on that site is going to have a bunch of 11 by 17 posters, and one of them is going to be a poster by me of Thea. And so if you want an original or a print of a painting that I do, that is going to be the first time my work is offered as legitimately as a print for someone's campaign. Actually, how is that going to go? Because I think it's also, I'm getting a poster of my work made for Razor Fist and his campaign. So I've got one art print coming out, the first of its kind for Eric Weathers, and that poster for Razor Fist. Shanth the man, gonna see you later. All right, Tari, take care. We'll catch you in another stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. One love, brother. It's great to see you. Great to see you. Yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book. Yes, indeed. Thanks from Eric Weathers. I love it. Yeah, Eric Weathers, battlebrickroad.com. Link is in the description. Just a good dude. Happy birthday for the weekend gone, dude. Yes, indeed. Fair enough, even though I kind of disagree that the chat deserves to know anything. Either way, I appreciate the rational debate. You're good dude. Oh, look at this. You guys are a good group. Eric kept trying to put his name in the top, but Sean kept moving. Actually, if I had my... There you go, right there. If I had my druthers, I would have hidden my name from... It's because to me I see it as who's responsible for this? And Eric did a dynamite job on the lettering. Any mistakes in the lettering are mine. My mistakes, that's for sure. But he's such a good dude, man. Eric and I, we get to have some fun, and it's great. CC, thanks, Siege Perilous. And Siege, I'm glad you're doing okay. That really is quite a scare. Yes, and there's the Battle Brick Road 2 fan art contest. Do not miss out. Crenshaw FAO says, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Hail all, Shanth, do you know about which order number you are on with fulfillment? Well, we're kind of jumping, we're not really jumping totally around, but the Australians box got sent off to Bancroft, and then we're going to go from there. So he's getting those, and he's going to mail those locally. I've got a whole stack of the Canada stuff. What is your number, Crenshaw? Let me know what your backer number is. But I think I'm at about 150-ish right now packages. Some of them have 2 orders in them depending on... because, so I'll break it down like this. Hopefully this will make sense. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. So here is let me see if I don't know if I can switch this. This is going to be weird because there's going to be two of me. Sorry about that, guys. This is terrifying. So these are the Gemini mailers. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I'm such an idiot here. Let me just do this here. Ah, no, even scarier. I don't mean... Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, there we go. Whew, that was scary. So these are the Gemini mailers, right? And they've got perforation on them, and this first perforation is really great for one book, and then I put cardboard filler on either side of it, so they have these sheets, and I've overbought these because I just want to make sure everybody gets their book in good shape. So these filler sheets, they go in one on this side, and then the book, and then one on the other side, and that's the one I typically write thank you on to the fans. I'll write, thank you, Shanth. And then, but if I get an order with 2 or 3 books in it from somebody, I want to make sure I can fill the package out if it's going to go past this line to one of these other perforated or scored lines right here so that I can get a nice, tight corner. Take care, Stephen Rockwood. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you so much for the kind words, brother. I appreciate it. And, yeah, yay, shipping talk. And so I want to always get a good square on the boxes I ship because it gives them a little bit more hull integrity, so to speak. And so, but that's the thing that I think about when I'm doing these boxes, because I want to make sure that the corners are really strong, and if they're too soft, I worry about it getting dinged because the boxes are incredibly well made. And so sometimes I will put things in together, or I will split things up depending on that, and I try to do it in sequence as much as possible. 387. So I'm certain I'm not to that one yet, unless you're in Canada or Australia, but I'm going to write that down here next to... See, when people give me backer numbers, if they're like, hey, can you check on this? I'm going to go take a look at it and see where we're at and what we got. So I've got it written down right there on the artwork. Oh, I'm so glad to hear. Yes, I did. I tried to ship it tight as a coffin. Gen X Catholic, thank you so much for taking note of that. Yeah, I packed it up like a nut. It's like 571. Yeah, I will try to keep this stuff in mind. I will see where I go in terms of this stuff, but I'm gonna put those numbers down, and just so I have them there so I can check, because sometimes what's really strange too is we get people who back it, as you guys know, who back it at one point, then they back it again, and it's really good in some cases to, like, if people back it 3 times, sometimes there's things that go better from order 2 and 1 make a better box, and so I can send order 3, in its own box, and so it's a lot of that kind of stuff. We just want to make sure, after all of this, that we get these things to you guys in the best shape possible. Like, that is the goal, that is the goal. And, you guys have just been amazing in that regard in terms of, I will say this. It is pretty overwhelming to see the support for Nosfero and the enthusiasm for both the Second Chance campaign that will have the art-only edition for those of you guys. Yeah, that's the sound of the police. They're coming for me. But the art-only edition will be one of the things that's available on the Second Chance campaign, the first printing of that. So it's great to see all that enthusiasm, but it is very humbling to see how many people back this book. Yeah, hide the memes, Shanth. Yeah, I know, I gotta hide the memes. It seems to me we need to learn all those small bits of craft, or at least learn to think of them with people frequently switching jobs, even small crafts like how to pack a box or lost. Yeah, I've worked in packing and shipping situations. I've worked in sales where I had to fold clothes board fold clothes. Worked in movie theaters doing cleanup. I've worked in a boxer short folding and shipping factory called Well Bred Boxers in Chattanooga for a summer. All that stuff is so important. Every bit of it is important, and that's why I say, all of the jobs that you guys do that make it possible for me to do what I do, which is provide you guys with the best escapism and the most uplifting escapism I can, is so important. And I really appreciate when I order something from Stuart Ing, and you guys, I'm sure, know when you order something on eBay, the care that goes into packing it. That is such an important thing. And I love that stuff. Diesel, what's up? Brother Shanth is live. Brother Diesel, it is great to see you. How are you doing, brother? So happy to see you, man. I hope all is well with you. like one of the things that's interesting is when you buy Gemini mailers, they you have an option to buy for a magazine format, which is the book is large. They give you the option to buy magazine mailers with cardboard fillers, 2 for each mailer. And the problem with that is that if you have a bigger box and I can't get to a corner, there's packages I do where there's 4 padding cardboards on one side and 3 padding cardboards on the other. That is one of the harder ones to pack. I wish I could show you what that was because I only have one piece of filler cardboard here. But imagine, like, this is the width on it, which is thicker than an illustration board. Imagine me putting 4 of these stacked on one side and 3 on the other side. Oh my gosh, Diesel just became a channel member. Diesel, congratulations and welcome. Thank you so much. Enough of being in the gray squad. Thank you so much. I'm going to send a cheerleader your way, and next show, your name will be in the credits. All channel members go in the credits. So let me send a cheerleader your way, brother. Thank you so much. You, my friend, are now a Crypt Walker, so welcome to the realm of the Crypt Walkers and the custom emojis therein. It is great to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, I mean, that is the thing that makes it so fun for me, is because I love when I get something that is packed well and has that personal touch, because at some point, I think for everybody, you know, the goal is going to be what I think everybody says, which is getting this stuff in bookstores, getting this stuff out there. I see so many books I never thought would be published, like Richard Corbin's Den is coming out from Dark Horse, and I think Simon & Schuster. Like, there's all these people who, once we get out of this crazy stage, who are going to be excited about these projects we're doing. But for right now, when you back this book, you are paying to make this happen. And you guys are getting copies that are, like, these are first editions signed by me, but they're shipped from my house. Like, these are going to be super rare. I'm not one for, like, you know, the speculator approach to things. I treat these like I'm telling a story and someone's going to read this later, and I want to make the best thing I can. But I can't overstate how important this is, you know? Yes, a San Julian Conan figure. I sent that to my brother because he's such a big San Julian fan. Hopefully you have some overprint to sell on eBay. Actually, I do have some overprint that I'm probably going to put up at a much higher price. Sort of like what John did with Black Riding Hood. I'm probably going to do... have some of those. I do that every campaign, like the overprint of art books 1 and 2. I'll put them up as at a premium there. So if people want to have the first printing, they can. But it's just, I mean, we're in these amazing times, guys. I cannot believe this stuff, you know. SDA, much love, brother. Yeah, sealed with a kiss each book. Yeah, they absolutely are. You want to hear something funny, right? Well, I don't know how funny it is, but it's funny to me. Every comic book that I package is the tape, or the way that it's sealed, the comic book bag, is with this sticker, custom printed sticker, made with Liberty in the USA. It's a round sticker, and on those nights when I'm having killer arthritis, there's no easy way to get this sticker off. Sometimes I'm sitting here for like minutes going, dang it, I can't get this thing, you know? And it's but it's so cool because when you get your book and you flip it over and you see that it's sealed with a custom sticker that you know from these live streams, that is what's going to be so cool. And that's what I'm so excited about, man. It's so cool, you know? Yeah, you're getting a first print backer edition before the first retail print ever occurs. Yeah, and all of the first printings are going to be signed. They have a signatory page on them. I don't know if I'm going to do that for the second printing because it is craziness. Yeah, rare is in I can exchange Nos for the gold of toilet paper. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. Reference to the toilet paper lack time. Yes, exactly. Well, eggs too, for that matter, you know. Reference to the toilet. Yes. Let me see if I can make sure I get this. I have garbage bags with those tie tab things that I can get open sometimes. I can't get open sometimes. No matter what I do, I don't buy them anymore. Not worth the trouble. Shanth labors for our liberty. I absolutely... Listen, and I know you know this. This book is made with such an appreciation for the liberties I enjoy because people who came before me decided that they should exist and then fought for them, and I feel fortunate all the time. And yeah, that is why it is a sticker. I wish I could show it on this. That is why it is a sticker that is, or a emoji that you're able to have when you're a channel member, because it's something we celebrate. Yeah, I can't wait to get my... What number are you, Timmy Mello? This is crazy. I do want to know your number, Timmy Mello, because you have been here fighting the good fight for so long and doing all this stuff. I would love to know what your backer number is on that book, man. Just, if you know it, if you can find it, just type it in the chat. But it's just, I mean, man, guys, we're making comics, we're making art, you know, we're doing all of this cool stuff. We're making beauty and inspiration, and it's funded by fans. And we owe so much to the folks who, you know, were the first over the wall and made this stuff happen, you know, and it's like, you know, things always get tense with people, and things always go into these places. And my attitude has always been, you know, about all of this kind of stuff is I always try to keep my mind in that sense of just feeling fortunate that we have this time together and this opportunity to do what we do and talk comics. It's wild. It's really wild. Eric Couples, you will never learn my backer number. That is such a perfect bookend for that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Timmy. I appreciate that. But it's like, you know, when I was getting the proofs of this book, and I was doing and I was looking at the color correction of it, and I was going, all right, I need a second proof. And they were like, do you want to do a full second proof, or do you just want a couple of pages? I'm like, no, I need a new cover print. And they're great. Like they're like, you're paying for it, so go for it, buddy. But I said, I want to pay for a new cover and all of the pages of the book, because I'm going to color correct it, and I want to double check to make sure that the color is right on the paintings. Because if the color isn't right on these paintings when this book comes out, all of that work I do, how do I put this? It's like a road trip, a long road trip, and they always tell you that the most dangerous part of the drive are the last couple of miles before you're home, the last 5 or 6 blocks, because you're so tired, you just want to get over the finish line, and you have to maintain your focus as much as you do at every other part of the drive when you get close to home. And when you're bringing a project in like this, you have to be so focused that you don't get complacent and that you don't get tired on that one important thing. And that is what it's about. Ah, lucky campaign number 444. Excellent, Timmy. Awesome. Terrific. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And but it is such an important thing. And, you know, that's why I spent the money to use the printer that I used on the first 2 art books. It's expensive. It was a lot of money. But these are supposed to be very special editions of the book. I'm going to be signing them, and I didn't want to take any chances. I know that printer. I know the quality of the stuff that they do. And they were actually so impressed by the way that the book looked that they asked me if I would give my permission to, in the future, for them to use it and photograph it to promote the work they do. And this is a very successful book printer, so that was some high praise. And that's what's so great about it. That's what's so great. And I love that stuff. Yeah, John shows up right behind me. There you go. 100%. Yeah, well, that's how this stuff goes, man. That's how this stuff goes. You know, we work, we keep grinding, we keep trying to do the best stuff that we can do. You know, and like I said, I mean, I have never done a painted comic book before. I've done 2 painted art books, but I have never done, let me move the light over, sorry guys. I have never done a fully painted comic book before, and now I have. It was something that I have thought about, I've looked at, I've done pages, painted story pages, particularly in my second art book. I did some as a test, and I thought, all right, like, this is going to be a massive task. There's a reason why people don't do fully painted comics. Even people like Alex Ross, who have done fully painted comic books, stop doing them because it is such a monumental task. But you guys make it possible for me to do this. You think of how cool that is. I wanted to send a message to people that we can do very high-end, very complicated work in this independent space. You guys are, it's funny, there's a small business, and we are fully independent in this house. Like, it is us and this book, Comicsgate, Iron Age, all of this stuff. And like, that's what makes this possible. But you guys are backing this book as individuals. And there's something oddly very tactile, like handcrafted about this process. Like, we meet each other as individuals, and you guys are backers as individuals. And when I put this book together, there's just something really special about this time. There's nobody between us. There's no There's no bigger thing between us. It is like, let me help you make this possible. It's beautiful, man. It's absolutely beautiful. Anthony Gonzalez Clark in the house. It's great to see you. Yo, what's up, chat? Are you going to do a variant cover? Cough. Looking to hire some up and coming undiscovered talent? Cough, cough. I'm probably, the way I'm leaning right now. Oh, yes, there's an intimacy that is quite beautiful. Agreed, Gen X Catholic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's, I am probably going to be using the same cover for the second edition. There'll be a noticeable difference, and it will, of course, say second printing. But I like the idea of the cover being the cover unless I have some brilliant idea for something to do with it, because I don't know, I've always liked the original, like with The Killing Joke and how many times it was printed. I've always loved the original covers on books that the artists have done. But who's to say? And so the next time I do a different cover on this book, or on a Nosfero book, it's this cover right here. This is the second cover I've ever done for Nosfero. But let me tell you something. If you're an artist in this space and you're interested in doing covers and doing work, keep posting your stuff. Keep putting it out there, because I've gotten so many commissions in the last year or so from different creators. I did a CYBERFROG trading card for Ethan. I did a poster / it's going to be a pinup in the back of Razor Fist's book. Whoops, this is Michael's piece. Wow, which is also, I want to show that one too, for Ghost of the Badlands. So this one right here, speak. Michael, did you sense I was just about to take your painting out? That is creepy. Stop. Holy cow, that is really funny. Try not to swear. That almost made it happen, man. That almost made it. Oh my lord, that was really, really funny to me. Oh my stars, that was funny. Sorry, that got me. Absolutely got me. I'm going to try this. This is going to probably be a disaster. Oh, no, it worked out, actually. All right, so I'm going full screen for this. This is the piece that I did for Razor Fist, Ghost of the Badland. What's up, Scottsley? It's great to see you. So this is my first Western illustration. I had a lot of fun doing this commission. Razor Fist is a good dude. He actually is my hand model. He posed with his Bergman his Bergman Model 3, and that's his hand and stuff. That is what he did for this painting, so it's awesome. He was my hand model. And then the another commission that I have is, of course, the commission I have. By the way, just look at the difference between these two, just in terms of their different levels of insanity. This is the most insane painting that I have ever done in my life, I think, at this point. This is Michael Bancroft's painting that he commissioned me to do for the Lucent, and this thing is 100% ridiculous. I'm going to start using a new term for this painting, okay? It's got to be, this painting is meticulous. It is meticulous in how ridiculous it is. Know that. I mean, this thing is absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It is a crazy, crazy painting, and it's made as a homage to the artist himself. It is made as a with a playing card composition, and also the duality of the world, the idea of the two worlds coming together and trying to connect, which you start to see represented there. And that is the stuff that I do. And another one I'm unbelievably excited about, and I'm actually going to be getting back to once I get the next round of shipping out again, is this piece for the great, don't get it twisted, Eric Weathers, my letterer, my artist brother, Battle Brick Road, where I'm using this compositional element of a flying monkey that's actually a chimpanzee in this world. If you don't know Battle Brick Road, my God, go and check it out. It's a great book. Very well reviewed, but also I can speak from experience. It's fantastic. But I wanted to use the flying monkey's wings to kind of give the portrayal of her as a Valkyrie and give her these wings, the impression of wings. And once I figured that out, the painting has just been a joy. It's just been flowing. And so that's the stuff that we get to do here. I mean, if you're not excited about what we're doing in this Iron Age space, man, get excited. Get really excited about this stuff. Wait, was that ridiculously, or meticulous? Yeah, it's more ridiculous. It's that ridiculous. Awesome. Trying to get those commissions. Hit me up, people. I worked on Joe Frankenstein. That's right. Variants, Starlight Cats variants, and I did a cover for Bronze Star that turned pinup. That's awesome. Congratulations, Anthony Gonzalez Clark. And I've heard great things about you, by the way. I should add. Yeah, your painting has so much of Bancroft's draughtism. Wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. I got you covered on the Stickman variant cover, Shanth. Thank you, awesome one. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, Diesel. You're the man. Yeah, Bogans are superior. Much love, Diesel. And thank you for becoming a channel member, man. Yeah, well, guys, the fun is really just beginning. I love that C.S. Lewis thing. He used to sign his books, The Magic Never Ends. And I think that it really is crazy to think about, just the power of where life can take you that you can't imagine. The setbacks sometimes that are, the doors or the walls that come up in front of you that are actually just guiding you towards the destination you're supposed to be going towards. All of that stuff has inspired me, and all of the artists that I've met and the folks that I've met in this space. I'm always grateful, that this is happening, because I've been looking for my fellow comic book, fanatics and pulp fanatics. And without YouTube and without all of these technologies that I myself did not invent, but I'm just the beneficiary of, this is a miracle. Like, this is just a miracle to me, and I love it, and I'm so grateful, Nerding out about expensive Batman figures. Yes, 100%. I was doing that the other day. Oh, let me show you guys something I got for inspiration. Over here, I just got... Ooh, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to take this off here. I got the Todd McFarlane Batman 1989 Batmobile and put the Mezco head on by cutting it off and customizing it so that I have one of the biggest influences, Anton Furst's concept design for Batman 1989, in a place of reverence here with all of the stuff that's inspired me. So 100%. Yeah, Bancroft, it's finally... been revealed that you and Camel have been saying behind everyone's back, touch it here files, have you two no shame. Absolutely, it's true. We're all shameless nerds. You're right. Been doing color comp thumbnails. Finally found my color scheme. Ready to do the final art after dinner. Very cool. And I think I'm only going to use 3 colors of paint. Yeah, limited palette is great. It's a great strategy. It's everything for what I do. It's everything. Headless Bourgeoisie, it's great to see you. Hail, Shanth, and hail, chat. Hail to you, my friend. Shanth invented the internet. I did. Don't get it twisted. Never get it twisted. SDA with the glasses on. You know what I'm talking about. I saw that. Sad. Al Gore would like a word, says Simply Green. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm running out of voice, and I need to get something to eat. And we have so many people in here. 45 likes on this stream. Leave a comment. And for my channel members... I haven't updated my channel member credits, so if any of you guys aren't channel members anymore, I don't worry about it. I want to make sure I had your name in the credits. I'll be updating for the next stream so that I can add my main man, my can of spam. It's all about money. I got to put your chat up on the screen here. Diesel, who is a new channel member, thank you so much, my friend. But for those of you guys who are already channel members and have been for the last month, thank you. Your names are going to be in the credits now, as I always say, and it's really important to me. Speak easy. Stay gold, keep the faith, and of course, peace, because that is what Shanth means. Thank you guys so much for being here. Auf Wiedersehen, Comrade Sammy, it is great to see you, and I hope you guys are having a great time wherever you are, and if you're not, go connect with something. Go watch some Twilight Zone episodes again. Go watch a favorite movie, read a favorite book, go for a walk, tell somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, hey, I just want to hit you up and say hello. I'm watching my friend Rocky do that with his comic book buddies from middle school. Cranberry Langers, ciao, and much love to you, my friend. I've been thinking about you a lot, and my thoughts are with your family, by the way. I know that was a shocking time a couple of weeks ago, and much love. So you guys make sure you take care of yourselves. I appreciate you guys. Reconnect with people. Have a great time. Keep making exciting things. But more importantly, what I love doing is go watch exciting things. I've got 2 links in the description, of course, to my comic book brothers. There's many links in there, but above those are videos that might inspire you. Here's a YouTube channel to check out. Process X. Process X shows Japanese and in some cases South Korean craftspeople doing things from making traditional ink blocks from scratch, mixing them, molding them, packaging them, and Japanese Noh theater masks, wood carved, this artisan who's been doing it for 40 years. This stuff is so inspiring. And go watch that stuff and be filled up, you know. And I want to just give a special shout out. Thank you, Jordan Peterson, for coming to my state and talking in Providence, Rhode Island. It was really inspiring, and it's got a lot of fuel in me. So take care, everybody. I will see you soon. And one more time, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and of course, peace. Much love, you guys. Let's do this again soon, and I will see you soon. Bye.